Sorry, my computer's just loading a little slowly. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. All right, everybody can hear me, correct? Yes. Okay, because I had to turn the volume off for YouTube. All right, well, thank you. I'm sorry about the delay. We had a little technical difficulty, so, but right now I think we're okay. All right, well, thank you guys for coming tonight. So I'm going to start off with just an update about the book fair. Unfortunately, due to COVID and different constraints, we are not going to be able to have the book fair this year. Dawn and Christine Papaleo will be sending out a communication about that in the near future. It'll come out through Toolkit. So I just wanted to kind of give people a heads up. We've had some questions about that and just let you know, unfortunately, it won't take place this year. So that was the first order of business. The next thing, Goodnight Griffins. First of all, I don't think we have any teachers on right now, but it just seems to be a tremendous success. The kids seem to love it. We have a ton of people participating every week. The teachers and staff are amazing, just for taking time out of their evenings just to read to the kids. And I think, it's been a huge success. So thank you to the parents who are reminding their kids to get into their cozy jammies and to log in on Thursdays. And we hope you guys are enjoying it. So thank you for that. Let's see. Next is Spiritwear. Amanda, are you here? Amanda McCaffrey?
Yeah, I'm here. Hi.
Okay. Sorry. Thank you.
So we have all of the Spiritwear is in. I think most of it was already picked up. We do have some stuff that is left. I'm planning to go around this week and drop everything off to anybody else that hasn't received theirs yet. But in case anybody doesn't have an address on Toolkit, or if it's like a out of district, I think there's a couple that were maybe placed by like other family members that we had different addresses for. If you can just email me or message me and let me know, and I can give you my address to pick it up.
Cool. Thank you. Okay. Next, we are moving on right before Thanksgiving. We had some teacher requests just for some items to help the teachers in the classroom to enhance what they're already doing. So we wanted to let you guys know, I think it was right around Christmas, that we were able to fulfill I think we had about 5 or 6 requests. They were random, like one teacher needed mice, I guess, for computers, mice for computers. We had some teachers that asked for cushions so that kids can have like more of like a flexible seating option, like for kindergarten. There was also a 2nd or 3rd grade class that asked for cushions, but it was nice. We were able to fulfill those requests, luckily, because we're still fundraising and the teachers were really appreciative. So we just wanted to give you guys a heads up on that. For those of you who don't know, the positions on the board are usually a 2-year position. So for the 21-22 school year, we have quite a few openings on the board. I don't know if anybody had a chance to look at the agenda, but right now we have a co-president, we have 1 position open, we have 2 for VP, corresponding secretary, recording secretary, treasurer, and enrichment. So if anyone's interested in volunteering and getting more involved in school, please reach out to Dawn and myself at villageschoolpres@gmail.com, or you can find us on Facebook, or obviously we're in Toolkit, so you could call. And we're a fun group to hang out with, especially, we're having fun right now. We're not doing a lot, but we have a lot of laughs, which is good. And there's a few of us that are remaining on the board, and we're fun too. So I think, consider it. That would be great. And I'm just looking, I think that's it for now. Let's move on to Melissa. We have 5th grade updates.
Hi everyone. So a few little 5th grade updates. So one, we wanted to kind of circle back on our mug debacle. So less than amazing. The idea was totally amazing. The execution on our part, we thought was totally amazing. And then everyone got their mugs home and it was like disappearing ink. So we're incredibly disappointed with that. Obviously, wasn't the intention at all that we were going to give that out to everybody and like sell it as like this hot item. So, you know, I know we have sent an email out and we have mentioned that, you know, should you be upset by that and we understand, please reach out to us. We were reimbursed by the company. So if there's anything that we can do for anyone to kind of make this right, because we do feel badly, please don't hesitate to reach out and let us know. I think second point, just as far as 5th grade goes, is right now we are working on getting the 5th grade t-shirts. So we, as like 5th grade parents, and actually as a school, I guess, really gift each of the students a 5th grade t-shirt. We have a really cute one this year. It has the students' names on it. So all of our 5th grade parents should be taking a look, making sure we're spelling it right, because that would be like debacle number 2, right? But make sure the names are spelled right so that we can put that order in and get those t-shirts back as soon as possible. And then I think the only other thing we wanted to quickly talk about was maybe what we're going to just kind of keep doing. And that is what we're not really sure. You know, we obviously, you know, 5th grade every year, there's usually like a party and we gift the yearbooks and we, you know what I mean? There's like a whole bunch of things just to celebrate the fact that they're moving on to middle school. And we're not sure what the balance of this year is going to look like and how much more fundraising we're going to do. So we'll probably just connect with Prentice, see where we're at, how things are going. We do plan on doing something more, but what that will be, we're not exactly sure yet. So that's kind of it.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for Melissa? Okay. All right, Mrs. McCormack, I hope you have audio.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. I honestly don't know which computer you can hear me from. I have them side by side, but that's what we do. We troubleshoot technology, right? We don't panic.
Yep. Good job.
Well, hi, everybody. Happy New Year. So I want to start off by thanking everybody. Lori had mentioned it. You know, many of the items that teachers put on the list, just things that would help make their lives a little bit easier. Thank you very much for being able to grant that. Those little things make a big difference. You know, they definitely feel supported. So I guess another thing, well, last Monday, we welcomed back a good chunk of our virtual students, which was so wonderful. It was truly like the first day of school again. You know, these students, they haven't been in since last March. So, you know, coming through the front door with that look like, I don't know where to go, you know, which they know their teacher, they know their classes, but just coming into the building in their first day of school outfits, you know, in January was still wonderful. So it was really nice. Going into phase 6, you know, I'm at the edge of my seat, just like everybody else is, just kind of waiting for that final decision. Once the final decision is made, you know, we will go full forward and we'll all be on board. But I don't have any specific information to give other than I'm waiting for the board meeting as well. Our sensory hallway, which I put in my weekly update, is a fun and fabulous addition. You know, we had reservations about putting it down just because of, you know, helping the students to remain, you know, when they're on the sensory hallway, they get all caught up in the moment and, you know, they can easily back up and bang into each other and that sort of thing. So it's so interesting because the students are so aware of their surroundings and the need to be separated from their classmates for safety reasons. That they've used it phenomenally. Teachers have given them a little overview on how to use it safely. There's so it's the hallway between coming in the main door all the way down from like Mrs. McCarthy's room all the way down to the all-purpose room where you go down the steps. So it's the huge hallway. And it's the entire length of it. And there are portions of it that go onto the wall, you know, for doing wall push-ups or other sensory things that involve your hands, which obviously we didn't put up right now, but they're on hold for when the time is right. You know, we have some extra pieces as well that we're considering putting over into the 5th grade hallway. Some of the upper grade, you know, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade, some of the bit more challenging pieces. And again, some of that requires the wall, so we're holding off on it, but it's in our back pocket, ready to go once we're able to. So that was really exciting, really nice. The kids really enjoy it. Even our pre-K students, they were out there with Mr. Vinny because it's right outside my office, the inside door. And so I just hear them all day long, you know, using it, which is just really fun. So I was thinking of putting just going into this new year, new year 2021, same academic year. I was going to put a survey out to the parents, just a general, get a pulse on how everybody's feeling. But then I thought twice about it. There's so many surveys going about, and so everything is digital. And this year is very different. I'm sure there are a lot of things you would like to see different, but this year we're doing the best that we can with the parameters that we're given. So I think what I'd like to do instead, I was thinking of hosting just like an informal meeting with myself, not even a meeting, just like a second cup of coffee sort of thing. I was looking at, maybe next Friday, the end of January, the 29th, just put an hour on the calendar for anyone that's able to come. I'll send out a Zoom link. I'll send it to you, Lori and Dawn as well. And no formal agenda, just really the time, just come with questions, come with ideas, come with areas of concern, just really just an informal conversation that we can just talk about to see what it is we can do to help support each other, getting through, and our students and our teachers, to help us all really do well the second half of the school year. So I was looking at the 29th of January, like I said, I didn't want to wait too far, but I didn't want to jump off too early in the year either. By then, we may have some news about what phase 6 will look like. So that's something we can discuss as well. So that's, I wish I had more to share out. We're doing well. Everybody's happy, being back in school. Do I want everybody back in? Absolutely. So that's all I'm going to say about that, but that's where my vote is. It's just really important. We all need to be back in there together with all the safety parameters put into place, and I have full confidence that we can do that. So we're just waiting for the next step. So that's really all I have right now. I don't know if anyone has any questions, or, if you, go ahead, Lori.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. It's clearing my throat. Sorry.
Okay. I have a couple questions. Sorry, I just
Hi, Dawn.
Hi.
You're out of the
over from my phone to the laptop. There is no phase 6 kept getting pushed back, like the start date. So I feel like at this point they haven't even announced a new potential start date for phase 6.
They haven't. It's February. It's end of January, February sometime. Yeah, it was pushed to from what I recall, the last date was the 19th, but then it was pushed from then. Once phase 5 was pushed, that got pushed, but not a specific date.
Okay.
But hopefully we'll hear that soon.
Okay. And then this is just one I just was thinking about recently. Are we not doing any kind of, our conferences really just on an as needed basis? Obviously we glossed over that whole period during December when there normally is parent-teacher conferences. Are teachers just reaching out as needed, or will there be some kind of formal parent-teacher conference?
So the formal conferences, the contractual conferences that the teachers are obligated to take part in, were the reentry meetings at the beginning of the year. But the teachers are always open, if any parent has any need to reach out to them. And the teachers also will reach out to parents if they see a need, they'll initiate it. But parents absolutely can initiate it if they just want to touch base with the teacher, but there will be no formal conferences on the calendar. I know, very, very different this year.
Yeah. All right, thanks.
We do have a question. Melissa Lugo, can you hear me? And if so, can you please unmute yourself?
I can hear you. Hi, everybody. All right, this is kind of going off a little bit, but I'm just curious, are the kids going to be allowed to do Valentine's this year?
So I'm going to send the final word out. We're just trying to be creative and safe about doing it. So we are going to figure out a way to do it, and you'll know by the end of this week, if not early next week. I'm just getting some feedback from the teachers because they're the great resources.
I know, because they're already into Easter at the store. So
I know.
I'm like, you get in that panic when everybody's decorating for everything now. So it's like, I just bought them to have them. I figure worst case scenario, my neighborhood will get them, but yeah, so
my thought, and like I said, I just want to confirm with the teachers and get their feedback as well. Everybody wants it to happen. We need this. It's a small little thing that can put a smile on our kids' faces. I'm thinking, for them to come in a little bit early, the Valentines themselves to be delivered, right, almost be quarantined before they go into the hands of the other children to then go home.
Okay, great. All right, thank you.
I promise I will send a communication out as soon as the teachers and I just finalize that, but we're
okay.
going to.
Thank you, Mrs. McCormick.
Okay. Does anybody else have any more questions? I don't see any hands raised. I never saw a hand raised on a Zoom meeting. This is like all new. Okay. Next we have Debbie.
Sorry, I'm technologically not helpful. So the gingerbread cookie thing went really well. I think we ended up selling, I want to say 160 cookies between single and double cookie boxes. I think they were pretty jam-packed, so I hope that everybody's children enjoyed it, had fun with it. It was a lot of fun to put together. We are looking at doing something kind of similar for Valentine's Day, like if you've ever been booed in your neighborhood where people put little treat bags. I think this year also some Christmas folks you've got Elfed, and it's just like a little goodie bag that's left on your doorstep. We're thinking about doing something sort of like that for Valentine's Day called You've Been Hugged. And still kind of working out the logistics as far as like what would be in there, but look for something about that fairly soon because kind of crazy. It's like 3 weeks away. And then as far as the gift auction goes, which I know that is a big question mark, it's still somewhat of a question mark. We're still not exactly sure what we can do logistically, how we can do it. There's also some behind the scenes things that we have to figure out. So that is something that myself and Dawn and Lori and Prentice will be regrouping about, just sort of figure out the timing and what we can do and when we can do it. So I don't have a lot of updates on that one. We are in the process of figuring it out and we will do something. It just may not be the way we normally do it. So.
Thank you, Debbie. Does anybody have any questions for Debbie? Nope. No hands raised either. Okay, cool. Thank you. Next we have Prentice. Do you want me to share my screen? Okay. Hold on. Oh wait, I did that wrong. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second.
All right, while she's doing that, I'll just remind everyone that my position is open for anybody that wants to shout it from the rooftops, please, because this is my 3rd year doing it and it's been fun, but someone else I think will have a good time doing it too. That's my little plug for my position. Oh, yes, okay. So
Yeah.
Can you go all the way to the top? Okay, perfect. So Deb, we don't really know. We didn't put anything in yet for the gift auction, spring fundraiser, because we don't know where that's going to stand. The income that you see there are just the class donations from people that contributed to class funds. So that's all that income is. So don't be fooled. Like, don't think that we had the gift auction and you weren't part of it. Amazon Smile is doing really well. And that, for anybody that doesn't know how that works, you basically just set up Middletown Village PFA as your beneficiary. And I don't think every purchase is they make a donation for every purchase, but a lot of purchases. And I don't know what the criteria is for it to trigger the donation, but that's like $90. That's just easy money. So if you want more information on that, maybe we'll just send a little communication about that to people, because I know everyone's doing more online shopping these days. And I feel like every time I even Google something, it takes me right down. I'm losing my battery. I'll go fast. So let's see. So no book fair. Box tops. I think we did do a box tops thing. We haven't gotten anything in for that yet. But I think we did do a little, maybe we haven't been paid for it yet. Moving down, we already talked about Goblin, the game night. The gingerbread kicks, like Debbie said, did really well. Membership is what it is. School spirit, that's pretty in line with what we expected at this point in the year. The scarecrows did a lot better than we thought that they would. This new line, this donations line is, that's been a nice perk we've noticed this year is we've added a little button in Toolkit that if you want to add an optional donation, you can. So that's worked out really well. And then if you just keep going down, some of the highlights here are the recess bags that I think we talked about that the last meeting, right?
Yep.
So that was the expenditure for those. There's your, I keep going down. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, if you just keep going down, and then Melissa will see the 5th grade, the fundraising. So you can see that we're at about like $700 now for 5th grade. And actually, I'm sorry, that's understated because it's probably closer to, you have to back out that yearbook cost because that yearbook cost was from last year. We just didn't pay it last year. So we're more at like $1,500, Melissa.
That's what we thought. That's
Yep.
what we were thinking. Okay, makes sense.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, so you're in a really good place. And then I'm sorry, one more time, Lori, if you can just scroll up. It's kind of a morbid description. Maybe I should change that. The COVID requests description.
Yeah, please change that.
Yeah, we need a nicer name for that. That's just the supplemental kind of teacher wish list that we fulfilled the supplies. I'm changing that. I can't look at that word anymore. Sick of it.
Last time I thought we were paying for people to get tested. I didn't
Right.
understand.
No, I know. I gotta change that now. Next thing I know, I'll be like on like Middletown Patch, you know? I'll be
I
like,
don't want that.
yeah, and that's really it. So we're
Thank
doing
you.
well. You know what? I mean, we're doing the best we can given the circumstances.
Yep. All right, good stuff. Thank you.
Okay.
Does anybody, I'm going to stop sharing, just see if anybody has questions. Is that okay? Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Does anybody have any questions for Prentice regarding the budget, spending? Looking for hands raised. No. Okay, cool. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Prentice. Dina is our corresponding secretary. She is unable to make it tonight. The only thing she wanted me to let everybody know, which is on the agenda on the calendar and is in our calendar on Toolkit, is that picture day was changed, and just bear with me, from April to February 19th for cohort B, which is a Friday, and then Monday, February 29th for cohort A. So it's just something to mark on your calendars. Oh, and Prentice put out a note. I don't know if you guys all saw, but we have $34,000 in the bank. So that's awesome stuff. Okay. All right. Michelle, enrichment, are you there?
Hello, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, okay. Okay, so for enrichment, we have the Penguins scheduled for the kindergarten in March. As of right now, we're gonna have to do it virtually, but it will be a live meet and greet with the Penguins. So the children will still be able to see the penguin and see how it interacts, talk to the handler, ask questions. So basically be the same, but the penguin won't be walking right in front of them. It'll be live on a screen, but they're not usually allowed to touch the penguin anyway. So they would still be getting the same information and get to know the penguin's name. And then if you go to Jenkinson's Aquarium, you can look for that penguin when you go on your trip with your family and visit. So we're still going to be doing that in March. Good news is that today I just heard back from Liberty Science Center. I've been calling and emailing them crazy for a couple of months now, and I guess the girl who normally handles the enrichment programs is no longer with them. So I finally found a contact person, and they do have virtual programs, including the owl pellets one that we do for the 3rd grade. So I'm going to be looking into that to have the classrooms be able to do that virtually. They said they'll send all of the supplies to us, and then they'll do the program online with the students. So we'll figure out all the logistics of that once I speak to the new person on board for that. So we're not having any whole school assemblies at this point because of all the COVID restrictions in the state and in the schools. So I'm basically going to just focus right now on the grade level enrichment and try to get some things virtually for the kids so they can have some fun and get a little break and still be learning something. So that's basically all I have right now for enrichment. The other thing that I wanted to mention is before the holidays, we spoke about using the Village School Zoom account for something fun and doing like an after school, meet and greet type of clubs. I haven't gotten a lot of responses for parent volunteers for that yet, but I'm not sure if that was the timing because of the holidays. But if anybody would like to run a group, it's probably going to be once a week for like 30 minutes for like 6 weeks. You can even partner up with a friend that has the same interest. I can even help you put like the lessons or activities together for, it's really just basically 6 30-minute sessions. So if you're interested, please contact me by email, micvitali@winemail.com. Or you can email villageschoolpres@gmail.com and let us know if you're interested in that. And that's really all that I have for enrichment. If anybody has any questions, let us know or email me. And that's it, because we'd like to get those clubs started, probably by the end of January. We're almost there already, so maybe beginning of February. So if we get enough volunteers, we'll be able to do that. Thank you.
I'm muted. Sorry. Thank you, Michelle. Does anybody have any questions for Michelle?
Can I go back and ask a question about Picture Day for Mrs. McCormack, if you're still okay? We had asked Dina to reach out to you, but since we're here, I just figured I'd ask you. I know at Thompson, they are scheduling like an hour after school hours for virtual kids to come in and have their pictures taken. I guess they sign up for a time. Do you know if that's going to happen for the virtual kids at Village?
We were going to decide a time, and it would be something similar to that, yes. And just, I know Lori said the dates. It's Friday the 19th, yes, and then the following Monday, the 22nd.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we'll do an afternoon, same sort of thing. And actually it's coming up, so I guess it's something we need to send out sooner than later.
Okay.
I asked Dina today to reach out to Mrs. Macaluso. So I didn't bring it up because I didn't know if they had spoken and what, whatever the communication would be. So, okay, cool.
Yep, we'll get that out there.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next we have Mrs. Tobin. I don't know if Mrs. Young is on the call, but I definitely saw Mrs. Tobin.
Hi, everybody. How are you?
How are you?
There really isn't much to report on our end. We're just plugging along, getting through it. And I think we're all, trying to make it as fun as we can, considering the periods are so short. I feel like it's hard to get it all in. But there's really not much to report. Sorry. No one really said much. I think we're all just getting back into the swing from the holidays and working hard. So, but that's it.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? No, no. Okay. All right. Is Karen Romano, I think, is here for the pick update? Oh, I see Karen.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yes, thank you.
Okay. So for pick, we did not meet in December. So January's meeting last week was very long. So I'm going to try and go through everything kind of quickly. Just remember that the meetings are taped. So you can always go back to the district website and you can listen to the meetings and hear everything that's being said. So the first thing they wanted us to relay to you is that as far as updating everybody when there's a positive COVID case, if you noticed, it's kind of changed since the beginning of the year. The beginning of the year, we were being inundated with emails of every school, of every case. So they've changed all that. It's now, you'll notice you'll get maybe 1, 2, depending on how many kids you have and what schools they're in. They'll come at the end of the day. They'll send out ones on Sunday if there was any issues over the weekends. But you're just getting it from your schools. So you won't see the whole district. If you want to see what's happening throughout the district, you can just go onto the district website. They have like a COVID page now with all of that information. As far as we've already talked about a little bit about phase 5, how those students were brought back. And they were just kind of doing quick snapshots last week of how many kids that said were coming back actually came back, and how many kids that were virtual that decided to continue staying virtual. So they're just kind of monitoring all of that. They need to talk to the Board of Ed about phase 6, and hopefully we get everybody back in soon. They've definitely noticed right prior to Christmas break, there was a decrease in attendance on the cohort days, especially at the high school level, not so much at the elementary level. So they're hoping that kind of changes now that we're into the new year. They talked about how Wednesdays are not optional, that if your child is in the hybrid situation, they should be attending their cohort days unless there's a specific reason that they, can't be in school. So they're working on the next phase. There's nothing set in stone yet. So hopefully we'll hear about that soon. They talked about emergency days, like the snow day that we had in December, that for this year, that's the method they're going to use. They're going to try and call it early. And it'll be a virtual day. They'll monitor power outages, not just in Middletown, but in surrounding areas. Because if our teachers don't have power, they can't teach virtually. So they're just going to have to monitor each situation and go from there. He talked about athletics, about the high school and the middle school sports have started following guidelines. There's no spectators. There's a limit of 10 people. Unless they need more officials and coaches and players. All of the seasons are down to about 2 months. So as soon as the winter sports are done, they're going to get those spring sports in for the kids as well, hopefully. They talked a lot about some curriculum updates. They're more at the high school level. Do you guys want to hear, should I share all that or not?
I don't think so. That's probably shared at the high school PFA meetings.
Okay.
So, like if parents here are high school.
Okay.
Too.
The one thing that they did mention for the elementary level is just that there's the new initiative this year with the computer science, and that they have a new typing platform for the kids to use. They actually, it's for K through 12. Just to help them familiarize themselves with the proper way to type. And then we talked a little bit about vaccines for staff. All the school nurses that have been are interested are, I guess, on a list, as well as trainers, just because of what they do. And then they're going to go moving forward. Hopefully, any other staff, they'll get them on the list. So that they can be vaccinated. As far as the strategic plan, if you listen to one of the last Board of Ed meetings, they went through the whole array of suggestions on how to deal with the overcrowding. They are kind of putting that on the back burner right now, just because the priority is with getting the kids back to school. There's new board members, so they want to get the board members caught up on all of that information. Some of those board members are going to be meeting with Malone and McBroom just to discuss everything that was presented. So it's not that it's being forgotten, but there's other things that need to be dealt with right now, and so that'll be coming at some point. And that is a quick overview. I think I got everything. Any questions?
Actually, I have a question. Do you get the feeling that the redistricting is off the table for the next school year, or just not on the table for January?
My gut feeling was that it's off the table for September, just because there's so many what ifs right now. And these plans there's so much to the plans that really need to be taken into consideration, but they wouldn't come out and say that specifically.
Yeah, no, I didn't expect them to. I was just curious, like, what, being in the room or on the meeting, actually get like a different vibe for how things sound.
Yeah, I mean, definitely the new board members want to get a good understanding of everything before any decisions are made.
Yeah, all right, thank you. Does anybody have any questions for Karen? No? Karen, thank you. That's huge.
Yep. Have a good night.
Thank you for that. You too. All right, Dawn, do you have anything to add before I get to the calendar?
I just wanted to reiterate all the open board positions that we have. And, tell your friends. There's a lot of positions. Everybody has a different role. You make good friends. You have a lot of laughs, and you do real good for the school. So please consider it if you think you can spare some time. It looked a little different this year, but please think about it. You don't need to be a parent of an older elementary. Like, just get in there. Learn as you go. And then the other thing, if you have the time to just listen in, it's really important to have our attendance at Board of Ed meetings. Whether you're watching on YouTube or in the Zoom, Lori put them on the upcoming dates on the agenda, and they can be found on the district website too. But a village presence is always a good thing, to have our names keep coming up in attendance, that we're watching and we know what's going on and we're involved, and we're aware and informed. That's it.
I'm almost tempted to make my name Village when I log into Board of Ed meeting. We should all be like Village 1, Village 2, so they know we're there. So Lynn, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but do you want to give a yearbook update?
Yes, I could. Oh.
Thank you. Sorry.
No, so it's going really well. We have like most of the book is done except for 4 pages right now. They're open for Read Across America, Whatever Could Happen, and the spring activity pages. So I'm waiting to see what happens. I'll just make 4 pages of spring activities. If Read Across America doesn't pan out to be something, or miraculously maybe we return to school and do something else, we could squeeze it in. But otherwise we've been, even with the baby pictures for 5th grade, I'm only missing 4. So that's really good. I have to reach out to those people. But otherwise it's going well. I mean, I'm kind of maybe have too many pictures, so I don't want anyone to be upset if all their 10 shots they sent me don't get in. So I'm trying, that's half my battle, is trying to be fair and, make sure it's even. But I mean, we're not missing that many kids. There's probably like a few from each grade where the parents, they just haven't sent in anything. So I feel like they're very disconnected. Oh, go ahead.
Lynn, if you know who those kids are, then the teachers, I will make a point of taking a couple pictures of those kids.
5th grade's really good. We're probably missing 4 kids where their parents sent in nothing. And I will tell you though, because in
Yeah,
case,
and then I
yeah.
can always let the other teachers know, like say, hey, you know, if you guys are on the playground, can you snap a picture of so and so? And
yeah, no, that was
email
definitely my plan. Because as soon as I get their name for the baby picture, then I could say, hey, what? Because one lady sent in a bunch yesterday of her kid,
Oh, good.
but I
Okay.
finally get this direct link because they're not in like the PFA directory, so it,
Yeah, not everybody, right?
yeah.
Okay, just let me know and we'll try to do the best that we can to make sure everybody gets a picture in there.
Thank you. My biggest worry was the 5th graders. I didn't want any of them to be left out but of course the others are all important too, but I assume if they sent in no pictures, they probably don't care about getting a yearbook in the first place and their kid will never see that they're not in it maybe, but
You can only do the best you can, right?
yeah. But plus it's for future years as well. We use these through the years that, so like I want to make sure it's somehow represented, but it's been good though. We had a very good fall and very good winter. So hopefully the year continues in a good way. That's it.
Thank you. Does anybody have any questions for Lynn or regarding the yearbook? No? Okay. All right, so at the bottom of the agenda is really just a calendar of upcoming dates. I don't know if anybody looked or if anybody's looked at the Board of Ed page on the district website, but the Board of Ed looks like they are splitting their meetings to keep them a little bit shorter. So today's the 19th. There's actually a workshop meeting tomorrow. Goodnight Griffins is every Thursday. I'm not going to go through every date here. We already mentioned Picture Day, but again, it looks like maybe like there's a different type of meeting every week. So like 1 week is workshop, 1 week is voting. So anybody who attends the Board of Ed meetings, I think you'll see that it looks like the meeting should be a little bit shorter, not running till 1 o'clock in the morning. And Read Across America is March 1st through the 5th. And obviously we'll have communication out long before the month so we have an idea what it looks like. We have our next Zoom board meeting, PFA meeting, March 23rd, but stay tuned. We might have to juggle some dates because I think we're overlapping with the Board of Ed. So we'll figure that out. And I think that's it, right? Dawn, did I miss anything?
No, I think
Thumbs
you
up,
got
thumbs
everything.
down?
Anybody else
Okay.
have anything?
All right, guys. Well, thank you. Thank you to everybody who joined us tonight. And obviously reach out to us with questions. Don't forget to flood our emails with interest in joining the board. And thank you. So have a good night. Let's wave.